Thank you for joining us this week on Convincing Idiots. This week we have Idiots Review, we have pop culture headlines, and our love letter to the great Martin Short. Please stay tuned. We have Ferris Bueller, prequel, sequel, continuation? Find out. Listen longer. And then finally, we have Would You Rather. So, would you rather continue or turn it off? I'm not giving you the choice. Continue. This is Convincing Idiots.
All right. Test.
Test.
Call it again?
Convincing Idiots.
Convincing Idiots.
Called it ham gravy.
I informed them that I sided with the Statman, not just anyone's opinion, the Statman Brian Fisher.
Kids today.
Jingle All the Way is in fact the best Christmas movie of all time.
I need to get Grandma a present, and my herpes is flaring up. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yo. I'm the millennial
We're
Santa.
three friends representing three different generations. That's our whole shtick. That's our thing.
Mm-hmm.
Nick got the whole poop.
Mm-hmm.
I'm standing in the sea
Awesome.
breeze, holding a turd, just mightily. I'm just going hitting hats.
Anyway, on a lighter note,
And welcome to the podcast, welcome to the vodcast, welcome to the broadcast. Boys and girls, welcome to the show. This is Convincing Idiots. My name's Dean, the Zennial.
I'm Brian Gen X.
And my name is Nick, and I am a millennial. And we are three different friends, as you may have noticed when we said what generations we represent, that we represent three different generations. We get together weekly to discuss pop culture and nerd culture and things of that nature that float our boat that particular week. So if you have not joined us before, we encourage you to please go to all of our social media accounts. And rather than list all of them off for you, because we're on all of them, almost all of them.
And now then some.
And then some that you've never even heard of. That's right. So you can find links to all of those on our Convincing Idiots link tree. So just Google Convincing Idiots, LINKTREE. Very simple, just for you, because we love you. And there you can find all of those social media links, as well as places that you can listen to our voices via your favorite podcast platform. Our email address is on there. You can also find all of that wonderful information for your convenience on our website. So be sure to also head on over to convincingidiots.wordpress.com. And there you will find all of that information, much of the same that is on the link tree, as well as little tidbits about us, get to know us. If you're listening via podcast platform, you can see pictures of our faces and what we look like in biographies and things of that nature. So please be sure to rate, review, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Okay, so we are back, as I said. We do this every week. So this week we are back here just ready to shoot the poo, as the kids say. So I'm going to shoot the poo with Brian. Brian, what have you been up to?
Yeah, I had a great weekend. The Porch Rocker happened this past weekend in Akron. So first of all, Allie and I had a nice night Friday night. Went down and saw a nice Eagles tribute band at Lock 3 in downtown Akron. Great, relaxing evening. One of the last few concerts left of the summer season down there. And then Saturday went to Porch Rocker. So if you're from the Northeast Ohio area, you have to go check this thing out. If you're not,
Now,
it's just
Porch Rocker, is it an event, or is that something you do while your tomato soup and cheese sandwich before you take a nap?
I sit in the porch. Actually, I do have a rocker on the patio.
Of course you do.
Of course
Quite
you do.
relaxing. Quite relaxing.
And do you whittle? With that beard, I figured you're a master whittler.
Pappy,
Not
can
yet,
I please whittle wood with you?
But I did recently take up a corn cob pipe smoking. So
Oh, of course. Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Mhm. Yeah. Anyway, so the Porch Rocker, it's the Highland Square area of Akron. It's a kind of very cool vibe area, artsy, trendy area in Akron. Anyway, but residents will they'll loan out their front porches for local bands. So it's tons of local bands come in, and it's very well organized, very safe. And what they do is they close off a lot of streets, and they put a schedule out there to where at 2:00, this band is playing at this address, and here's the type of music that this band has. Here's a website for the band or whatever. And you can sort of map out a schedule if you wish and just go walk to that house and sit down on the ground. You can sit down you can bring a lawn chair, whatever you want to do, and just sit there and watch live music all day long. And they have vendors, and you can buy beer and stuff. It's just such a cool vibe, man. So
it's very cool.
Yes, it's the 10th year they've done it. Strongly recommended. And I'll give a shout out here as well. When I was over in the Highland Square area, I noticed a local tattoo shop, Black Tooth Tattoo, was having a flash sale. I have a meaning to get. I got a bandage on it now, so it's kind of, the ink is bleeding, so you can't really see it now. But it's a mom with a heart and the son. Mom squared, actually, from my mom and biological mother, as I was adopted, which is a story in itself. But anyway, I've been meaning to get this tattoo for a while. Did a great job there, and I was recognized for the first time by Eric Eagle, he was running the shop that day and managing all the appointments and everything. And a tattoo artist, Paul, did a great job here. So Eric, thank you for listening and watching. Gave a nice compliment about you, Dean, that you were a good dude. I said, well, clearly, are you talking about the same guy?
Yeah. I mean, there's no need to call me names, but
yeah.
No, I actually want to not only second that of how great of a person Eric Eagle is, and we're hoping to get his talents on here as a guest sometime, because he also has a podcast, Keeping It 99. So anywhere you have your podcast listenings, go ahead and search Keeping It 99, Eric Eagle. Does a lot of music stuff and metal music and whatnot. Funny dude, great dude. And I don't know if there is a video thing to it, but he's also quite the looker. So
there you go.
Keeping It 99.
So shout out to Eric and Blacktooth Tattoo at Highland Square. Go check them out. Great work and very clean shop and everything. And then we'll get into more of this soon. But if you're listening to us right now or watch, we're going to be getting into an exciting new opportunity to get into a new platform. So, a friend of the show shared an opportunity, and Boss Code Media is a new app that's going to be out there in your smart devices, Roku and Fire Stick and so forth. So our podcast here, Convincing Idiots, and the other one I do, It Came From Gen X, looks like we're going to be on that platform. So more news to come here.
That's a video content, correct?
Video content only. That's right. So if you watch us on YouTube a little bit here and there, we're going to have videos on this particular platform. So maybe you're watching us here for the first time. So if you are,
welcome to Boss Code.
Checking us out. Exactly right. So but it's pretty exciting stuff. Good opportunity for us and for them. So very exciting news. And so a lot happening for me and us over the past couple of days here, guys. So
Brian's just taking us along on his rocket ride.
Yeah, man.
The red rocket.
That's right. And then Sunday, by the way, I checked out Odd Mall in downtown Akron. That was pretty cool. So Odd Mall, they do different events, and just local vendors come in. There's a lot of people that have very interesting crafts and art and books and all that type of stuff. And it's full of literally some odd people doing creative things and selling stuff. It's just, I love it when they do it. So they do different venues and different events throughout the year. So check out Odd Mall on Facebook. And you can follow what they're doing there and support some local creative people out there as well. So that's it. Yeah, Dean, how are you?
That's a cool. I'm good.
It is cool. It's cool.
Let's see. Oh yeah, I had some beers with Brian the other night,
Sunday at Carmel.
and I forgot to tell
Brian
you
never talks about that. He just doesn't talk about you guys hanging out together. He forgets that you're on here to blow his cover and bring it up. Yeah.
Right. No, I get it. I talked to me. No, but I forgot to tell you the story. What happened Friday? So we're coming out of one of the bars because me and my girlfriend and our buddy Jeff went a couple different, had some drinks Friday and whatnot. We come out of the one on Tusk, or not Tusk, but on 2nd Street, and we go to get the car. I get the back seat. Guy turns around. It's the wrong car, but he's drunk, and he goes, "Am I your Uber?" I'm drunk too, a little bit, but not as drunk as this guy. I'm like, I don't think so. He starts driving.
He asked if he was your Uber?
Yeah.
You got in the wrong car. You got in someone else's car.
Yeah. And he goes, "Am I your Uber?" I'm like, I didn't take an Uber. I go to get out, and he starts driving away. And I see Jeff kind of like standing there with his arms up. He's like, because I turn around, like I can't open the door because they lock when you start driving away. He probably goes for like a half. I'm just telling the guy, dude, pull over. This isn't funny anymore. Pull over. And he's driving. It's probably a good half hour.
Oh, jeez.
We're into Akron, and I'm like, dude. Now I'm starting to get pissed. My phone. I'm trying to reach my phone, but I guess it was in Megan's purse. And the dude pulls up to this. I don't want to say crack house, but could be a crack house.
Good
and gets
Lord.
out, goes inside, and the door opens, or the door's unlocked, and I get out. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And he's like, don't worry, it's not my car anyways. If I could run inside. So now I'm stuck in middle of Akron, trying to find my way back. Yeah, trying to find my way back. Yeah.
I don't. What?
I get
Is this real?
No, not at all. Because I didn't do anything this week.
I was gonna say I don't believe any of this. There's no way this fucking happened. There's no fucking way.
No, but we did. I actually we went out of the bar, and I fell off the curb and I hurt my knee. I scraped it. I got a little boo boo.
The story was better.
Did a bum carry you by horseback to somewhere?
Unicorn,
in
actually.
Yeah.
Unicorn.
I will give you props though. You told that with such conviction that I was like,
thank you.
I'm listening to this and I'm like, there's so many holes. There's no way this is real. But I'm like, What is he leading into? Is this a Blake insurance read? Is this? I'm like, what is happening?
Actually, now I'm kind of upset with myself that I didn't lead into the
I'm just like, what? How? There's no way. Plus, I saw you Saturday, and something like, there's no fucking way that you saw me on Saturday, Brian on Sunday, and forgot to tell both of us the story.
That's right.
There's no fucking way.
That's true.
I have been wanting to do that since we started this, to make an elaborate story up. Actually, Nick and I had talked about it. Remember, Nick? We talked about just randomly lying.
Yeah. Yep.
But no, we went around Friday, had some drinks at different establishments, had a good time. And Saturday, I went to a child's birthday party. My sister's son's daughter's birthday.
That would be your great niece.
Yeah, she's all right. And so it was fine. I had to poop real bad, so I left.
Yeah.
Yeah, clenching butt cheeks. You're driving down the road and just your eyes start watering. Yeah. But I made it. I didn't poop my pants.
Yeah, that's good.
So that's good.
That's good. Thank you for walking us through what it's like having to shit real bad for anybody that's never experienced the sensation.
There may be some people that have proper bowels and don't have that automatic, like, oh no, I'm going to shit my pants. Some people have actual adult bowels and just go about life not having to poop their pants sometimes.
Yep.
I am not one of them.
No.
But some people are. So I'm explaining that to them so they know what it's like, that feeling, because your eyes start watering, the hairs in the back of your neck start standing up. Get the goosebumps on your taint. Yeah. So
This just in: we are no longer on Boss Code Media TV.
Oh,
All right.
none of this is going to make it there at all. This is
he
not
edits
even
all my
close.
shit out.
Not even close.
No,
Yeah.
nobody has actually heard my voice on the podcast.
No.
It's just you two yammering about.
Maybe that's why
Giving
Brian
each
and
other
I have
hand
been
jobs and
recognized in
such.
public for this and not being.
Right. You're doing a podcast?
How do you think it was? Yeah. How do you think we were able to get other opportunities?
Right.
You know? Yeah. So, Nick, how are you, sir?
I'm good. I'm good. I like Dean, didn't have a too eventful of a weekend.
You can make something up. It's easy.
I could, but I anything I could come up with at such short notice would just pale in comparison to that lovely fable that you told. So I will not even attempt. Now Friday I had a hockey game, so me and my friends went out for a little bit after that and hung out.
Did you
had some
win?
beers and no, we did not. No, we lost in tremendous fashion. In fact,
At least
so-
you do it in a tremendous fashion.
Yes. So now our playoff odds, which were a sure thing, are now in jeopardy in the
Diminished.
hands of another team. We have to count on another team to lose, basically, to still get in the playoffs. So, but yeah, no, it's always a good time out with the boys. So we had fun.
At least
there,
you're a
and then,
Maple Leafs fan and you're used to losing. So
That's right. Yeah, it doesn't scathe you as much. It's just kind of like this is the way of things. You know, you just understand that.
this feels right.
Yes, right. Hello, darkness, my old friend. And then, Saturday, as Dean mentioned, I went to my great niece's birthday party. So hung out there and watched Dean try to hold his butthole closed. So that was fun. And just that's about it. Just got us some clean, did some shopping on Sunday, went out for dinner at
You buy me something?
Mexican place that we like to go to. What's that?
Did you buy me something?
I bought you a really nice reusable plastic bag from Old Navy. It says Old Navy on the outside. It's very white and
Aw.
plastic. It folds up real tight, almost into the size of, like a ping pong ball.
Uh-huh.
And you can use it as many times as you want. It's plastic
Environmentally
and
conscious. Yeah.
yeah, sure.
You
And
use it.
you
didn't
can
have
use
to
it.
do that.
You can put anything. You can put a 40 ounce in it or whatever you carry around on
Hold
your
on,
person.
can I poop in it?
You could
You can
poop in
poop
it
in
if
it.
you needed
Yeah.
to.
All
I wouldn't.
right.
I'd recommend washing it out after you do that, maybe.
All right, don't
but
tell me
yeah,
what
you
to do,
can-
but all right.
Okay, sure, yeah. Who wants a swig of my sticky 40? The signature Dean sticky 40. So, but yeah, no, that's about it. Nothing too crazy. I wasn't kidnapped, and I didn't go to any cool festivals or anything. So, but it was still a good weekend nonetheless.
You're boring.
I am. Yes.
How are you the youngest out of us, and you live the life of an old man?
I have children. That's how it happens.
Brian's running around to rock concerts on porches and
Yeah.
eating sushi and living not just his best life, but all of our
best life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
Living
I
our
did
best
sushi
life.
Sunday as well. Yeah, with Mom. That was
And
nice.
you're going to 5-year-olds' birthday parties and getting poop
Watching me
bags
try
for
not
your
to shit my
friends.
pants.
Gotta pay your dues, man.
That's
I
right.
guess.
Pay the dues.
Yeah. Yeah, Peyton is starting her senior year in a couple of days, so I mentioned that I think last week. But yeah. Senior college, that is. Yeah. All right, so about
Good
some.
for her.
Yes,
I'm very
indeed,
proud of her.
Me too. Thank you.
She doesn't know you. You don't get to be proud of her.
I know her. I know her.
No, I
and
said she doesn't know you.
Joey.
I'm proud of you. Who are you? Get out of my face.
You know how many weird looks I get when I just go up to random girls and say, I'm so proud of you. I just want to let you know that. Most of them start crying because they have daddy issues. They're like, thank you.
Yeah,
Thanks,
worth a
guy
try.
with a 40 ounce wrapped in a shitty Old Navy bag.
That's right. Yeah,
I'm
who the hell
proud of
was
you.
Who's that guy on a podcast I saw? I think. Yeah.
Oh no, they don't recognize me from there. I'm edited out of that.
Yeah, that's
Can
true.
I tell you something that is kind of cool to me? As much as I think to myself that doing this podcast with you guys in the basement of our homes is maybe not the the hallmark of what cool is. But when I think of myself as Wayne Campbell from Wayne's World or a member of something like that, it makes me
Okay.
feel kind of cool. Like that we're Wayne and
No, I get
like
that.
we have it. I mean, isn't podcasting essentially public access television
Yeah.
of yesterday,
Yes.
like of now? We're essentially like this is like our Wayne's World, and I think that's kind of cool.
Yes.
See, I do
That's
that,
right.
and I think of myself as like Buffalo Bill from
Sure.
Silence of the Lambs.
Yes,
right.
absolutely.
Oh,
Yep.
fuck me.
Puts the lotion on its skin, or it gets the hose
Mhm.
again.
Yeah.
You know how many times I pull it behind me and dance in the mirror?
Mm-hmm.
A lot.
Honestly, sadly, I do know how many times, and
Well, if you want, you can tell me to stop sending the videos, and I will, but you haven't yet, so you're just going to keep getting them.
yeah.
I've seen these TikTok videos now where people are putting pictures of Buffalo Bill. Have you seen these? Like at the ceiling. So it's like they're decorating offices and just different fun things there. So it's like the picture of Buffalo Bill like leaning
From
over the hole.
Yeah.
Okay. In the ceiling
funny.
panel or something. And they hang a rope down with a basket with lotion in it, like he's lowering the basket
That's
down
awesome.
to the. Yeah, it's pretty cool. All right. How about some idiot reviews here, gentlemen? Have you seen anything interesting or recommend anything interesting from the past week in the world of pop culture? Nick?
I have.
Yeah.
I am. Actually, I'll start with my 3/4 of a review because I have the
Okay.
last like 25 minutes to watch. I
Okay.
was watching Larry and Marge Go Large on Paramount Plus with Bryan
How is
Cranston.
that?
It's very good. It's very good.
I've heard
Yeah,
good things
it's,
about it.
Essentially, he's picture Walter White, right? A very intelligent man, just your everyday guy, nothing crazy, nothing special, basically lived in the lines of, his entire life, and now he's retired. He's out of things to do. He doesn't really know what to do with himself, being a guy going to work every day, and his routine was, who he was through and through, until he stumbles upon this kind of I don't say a glitch in the lottery so as a formula to how to win the lottery,
Yeah.
So he at first kind of, I'm not going to give any spoilers, but I mean, obviously she's in the title as well. So for a while he goes about kind of playing around with the formula, and he doesn't want to tell his wife. He's kind of embarrassed of how free he's being with they're both retired. So I mean, they've got a set income, and but he's thinking he can make something with this, and slowly, she gets on board and things like that. So it's definitely interesting. It's not quite as like with the criminal undertone as like, obviously Breaking Bad. I mean, it's different, it's drugs, but I mean, they're not doing anything illegal either, though. I mean, they're doing this legitimately. He's just a smart enough guy to figure out a way that it could be profitable for them, and it's definitely a really good watch. So I would strongly recommend it. I think it's Larry. Is that what I said? Larry and Marge Go Large on Paramount.
That's Paramount Plus?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
So that's very good. It's about an hour and a half, so it's not too long of a watch. And then the big one that I've been waiting for finally dropped on Sunday.
We've never had a big one before, so
Never. Here it is now. Episode 1 of House of the Dragon came out on HBO Max. So it is the.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to. I mean, it is. It is a prequel. Prequel implies that it ties into Game of Thrones, and certainly maybe in ways it will, or something will, but it takes place like 172 years before like the grandfather of like one of the main characters was ever like on the throne. So you're basically off the hop, it's telling you you're not going to see anybody there's not going to be any cameos from Game of Thrones. It's essentially like watching kind of, I don't know if anything like Star Wars has it necessarily, but it exists in the same universe. It is Game of Thrones universe. You're hearing a lot of places you're familiar with and houses you're familiar with and things like that. But like, you're not gonna see any characters that you were ever attached to or that from the popular show. So, but my big thing with it was, what I was excited to see it. Loved Game of Thrones. I was excited to see was kind of wondering though, how are they going to be able to pull me in? You know what I mean? Because like I said, it's not tied to the central any character that was in Game of Thrones. But after watching the first episode, it was very good. It had all the hallmarks of Game of Thrones episodes. Very gory, like over the top. I mean, I don't know, maybe I just haven't watched the show like Game of Thrones in a while, but like a lot of scenes like way more graphic than I even remember that being. Very, very brutal, very violent, very gory. The nudity's there, the sex, the nudity, the gore. So we got all the hallmarks of Game of Thrones. The dialogue is fucking incredible. Like they do just such a great job, such great actors, great back and forth. And I will say it drew me in after one episode. There's a couple characters I am invested in already, so I'm very excited to see where this goes. I don't know if it's going to be multiple seasons or just one or what, but so far I liked it. It gave me a lot of the trigger points that I enjoyed from watching the original show on HBO. So that's about it for me, though. So House of the Dragon, Larry and Marge Go Large, both good, both worth the watch, and strongly recommended. What about you, Dinas? What have you been watching?
Well,
What are the two things you saw?
My two things. The one I saw was She-Hulk.
Okay.
I know we had mentioned it that was coming on. And I think we had mentioned that, are we going to watch it? And I said I'd give it a shot. I give it one, just like I gave the Miss Marvel. Wasn't expecting much. I'm hooked.
Really?
They have the episode is the first episode is a good introductory story. You have no clue what the series is going to be about. It's just her origin.
Mm-hmm.
And they have what's his name? Mark Ruffalo as Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
In there. And obviously he's good at that in that role. He does what he needs to do. He's smart. He's funny and all that. But she's a lot better than I thought it was. I'm glad that they fixed the CGI before they put the finished product out, because it looks a lot better than the very first trailer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I will be watching again. I highly recommend. There is no really spoilers for it, so I can't really buck up and say anything wrong, because it's. I mean, unless you really want to be surprised on how or why she turns into the Hulk. But yeah,
so wait, a girl turns into the Hulk? You already spoiled it. You already spoiled
Hulk, not the Hulk. A Hulk. And even as a Hulk, she's pretty easy on the eyes.
Yeah.
Does
she have a big blonde handlebar mustache and rip her shirt off and play a belt like a guitar?
No, Nick, like the Incredible Hulk, like the comic book, the big green monster.
Oh, I would say the Hulk I remember is pretty incredible too.
He is incredible.
He had arms like the pythons.
Incredibly racist, if I've heard correctly.
Yeah, there might have been some. Yeah, maybe that's true.
But yeah, it's good. I recommend it. I'll keep watching. I hear that some of the rumors or whatever that it's going to tie into more different things, different movies than just the Hulk and whatnot. So I'm looking forward to that. My second review, you guys had touched on it, and I'm pretty sure you guys both watched it, or at least one or two episodes. A 3-episode series on Netflix. It is the shit show. It is the documentary about Woodstock '99.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Holy shit. I mean, I remember it back then when I was in high school, being on TV pay-per-view and some of the news reports and stuff, but I don't think I paid attention that much.
Yeah.
Wow. What a mess.
Yeah. Literally and figuratively.
Yeah. And it's it really was incredible. And if anybody's listening or watching, they're in the beginning of the first episode, they do quick cutaways of different people with cameras there, and they have some of the people, some of the concert goers screaming into the camera, "Woodstock '99," stuff like that. There is a quick, and you guys aren't going to know what this is, or you might, I don't know, but The Miz from WWE wrestling. He was also on The Real World.
Mhm.
I'm almost positive that he was in the crowd.
It's quite
and he'd
possible.
scream into the camera. So if anybody knows if that is a thing, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere else you are following us on social media. But that is my review. It was a really good documentary. Well done. It was sad. I
Put
felt
you there.
bad.
It definitely
It
put you
did.
in
It really did.
Yeah.
And I forgot just what sort of a piece of ass Amanda Lewis was. And is. She is... I'm a fan of her, huh? The old VJ from MTV. Wow. So that's mine. Brian, what did you watch?
All right. So I saw She-Hulk as well, dude. So are you? I'm with you. I agree. It's entertaining. It's a different, a lighter feel also, and that character is an interesting character and funny and goofy, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun when they bring in the Abomination and all that. Are you getting tired of Smart Hulk?
No.
Is it no? You like that version of the Hulk?
If you're not going to be Smart Hulk, you better be able to turn back into David Banner and back in the 80s TV show. Bruce Banner very easily, because I enjoy Mark Ruffalo so much that I don't. To me, the Hulk is a one-dimensional character once he's the Hulk. He beats things up, he destroys them. If you can't talk and stuff, and you have no. How you can barely do even facial emotions for him, So I want Mark Ruffalo being that character and also being able to be a badass. So I'm okay with it.
Okay. I'd be a little tired of it.
Brian is not.
But they did
You're wrong.
They
Moving
did
on.
that in the comics, but that's what they did in the comics though too for a while. It was a Smart Hulk for a while, then he was this version of the Hulk, then he went all the way back to the rampaging Hulk, and you have to do that with that character, I guess, to kind of keep him interested. Sure. All right, but I'm with you though. I thought it was entertaining overall. I'll definitely keep watching it. It drops every Thursday. Okay, I saw an interesting movie over the weekend, The Northman. Is it new movie from 2022, and that is Alexander Skarsgård, Nicole Kidman, Ethan Hawke, Klaus Bang, Anya Taylor-Joy. It's a Viking movie, basically. So Alexander Skarsgård his father was a king. That's all stuff you pick up from trailers and stuff like that. But basically, his father was killed, and he is out to, as a grown man now, avenge his father. So some strange undertones. Some of those movies, like, again, dragons and Vikings and stuff, it's a hit and miss for me for some of that stuff in that realm of, science fiction, I guess, fantasy type stuff. But this was pretty good.
I want reality-based shit like the She-Hulk. Come on.
Yeah, this
give me something I can believe is real. Like She-Hulk.
Yeah, this has some like witches and different couple scenes like that and so on, but that's okay. I mean, like Conan had some of that stuff too, but just as far as a look and feel and, in that time frame, things are just dirty and muddy and he was just an absolute badass. If you want to watch people get killed with axes and swords and different things like that, I mean, it's an interesting movie. And it's all for the love of his father, to try to come back and avenge his father, Ethan Hawke, who was, like I said, he was killed. So I won't give any spoilers away, but it's rentable out there on streaming for like $5, something like that. So if you like those type of movies, it's definitely a good one. Well shot and well acted, and everybody was great. Nicole Kidman and everybody was great. So The Northman, check that out. And I saw a very interesting documentary on Netflix. They have this series called Untold Stories, basically. So the girlfriend who didn't exist, it's the Manti Te'o.
I almost watched that.
You know what? It's a 2-part thing.
It was either that or the Woodstock documentary.
Trainwreck 99.
Yeah.
Definitely go back and watch this as well. It's a sad story. I remember just seeing just sort of and this is before, social media was even as big as it is now with apps and this and that and the other. But this was all over everywhere. It was all over ESPN and the news and this and that. I remember just kind of picking up on it like, wait a minute, like what's going on with this guy? I mean, I never really, you couldn't help but not catch some type of parts of the story. So, basically he was catfished he thought he was interacting with a woman on Facebook, and they started to chat, and they had a long distance relationship, and he was on the phone with her, and this and that and the other. And it turns out it was just some dude. All that time, it was just some dude that had, he had sexual orientation, not issues, but confusion, and he really wanted to be a woman, and that's how he's living his life now as a woman, which is all fine, but it just got so far. And this guy was one of the best football players in the country, literally. Is one of the highest recruited defensive players coming out of high school, played in Hawaii, goes all the way to Notre Dame, and he had a great, great college career, and he got mixed up with this person and just really screwed him up. It literally screwed up his mental state and his career. Yeah. And I give him everybody. The guy that did the catfishing, Manti Te'o, his parents, all did recent interviews for this documentary, and they just put it all out there.
Was he on there?
Oh yeah.
Huh.
Current interviews and stuff, and he speaks to everything. He's basically, some people, think that how naive and dumb can you be and all that, but he's just like, if you were just in my position, and I could see it. I could see how you can get caught up in something like that, to where you're I don't know. It's a very interesting story. Like I said, I give everybody all the credit in the world to come on there and be brave and tell their side of it. And I just feel bad for the guy. He did have 7 years in the pros, and he recently, I think, retired in 2020. So it's not that long ago where he retired. He had an okay career in the pros, but he was just never the same with that, and it just cost him so much. And they talk about it a little bit as well, that if you don't get drafted in the first round to the second or third, just the contract and the money,
right?
It's huge, and he had nothing.
Huge difference,
and he had nothing bad to say. It's just like, God, just
I'm
an
still
incredible
rooting for those kids
man.
to make it.
Yeah,
maybe they hook up in the end after all.
Yeah, so Untold.
Wouldn't that be a great story?
It would be
that would be the best
story.
That would be the best fucking story if they
There's a
actually ended up
Hallmark
together.
movie for you.
Absolutely.
Right.
Where's and put it at Christmas time, and that'd be a hit. Yep.
Yeah, because I was angry for that dude watching this. I'm like, God, can't believe it. But so yeah, go check that out. Very, very interesting story. Untold, the girlfriend who didn't exist. So
I think I'm going to watch that.
Yeah, it's like 2 hours total with the 2 episodes. So definitely worth a look. Those are 2 main things I saw.
Cool.
All right.
So you would say that it's worth your man time.
That's right.
Teo.
You
Had to work really hard to make it work, but I tried. There it is.
That's right.
It's not hard to work out is getting insurance.
I stole my spot. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right.
And you know why it's so easy to get insurance? It's because of Aaron Blake.
Because Aaron works out?
That's right. Well, he does. His pectoral muscles and such. Aaron Blake. Let me tell you about Aaron Blake. Aaron Blake is one of the most trustworthy, genuine, good human beings. One of the best I know. Gentlemen, would you back me up on this?
Yeah, absolutely.
I know.
Probably Aaron and Brian.
I know Nick.
Aaron and Brian.
But
Aaron and Brian are up there.
I've never met Aaron. I assume he's not catfishing us, but I assume he is real and he does.
No,
exist.
he just doesn't want to meet you.
Okay, that's
That
fair.
cannot be.
I bet Aaron. I'm teasing.
Okay.
I'm joking. Yeah.
God, I'm like, no, I know you. You had to.
You are a sucker this whole episode.
Yeah.
Good Lord. That's the title of this episode. Nick's a sucker.
We had a picture with Aaron at Robin's birthday party.
That's right.
I come back next week and go, you guys are going to believe this. Robin's not real. All this time.
We'll drop these damn
2
kids off.
What the fuck? It's not even real. I got
my dad the whole time.
They said it was from the stork. They said it was from the stork. These kids were in a basket.
But Aaron Blake would not catfish you nor anybody.
No.
He is a good and genuine human being that wants to only give you a proper rate and savings with insurance. Aaron Blake with Blake Insurance Blake Insurance is an Erie insurance agency located right here in Barberton, Ohio. They provide auto, home, renters, and business insurance with honesty, decency, and affordability. Erie Insurance is above all else in service. You want to call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com for your free 5-minute quote today. I'll say it again because it's so important. Call 234-571-5359 or visit BlakeInsuranceLLC.com. And when you do, tell him some very gassy idiots sent you their way.
So you're about as good as Jimmy Fallon about like keeping it together. And then
Who was that? I was reading.
Brian.
Who was that?
It was Brian.
Well, I'm not used to him being a savagely despicable character in this world that would do such
when
a thing.
it comes out, it comes out. It's like he's.
That's what she said.
Well, I am not despicable. I have a heart of gold, guys. You know what?
You sure do.
That's right.
And a pacemaker, right, at that age?
It's close. It's close. But also speaking of hearts of gold is our other sponsor, guys, Golden Heart Tattoo. Okay, over in the Norton, Ohio area. Scott Oswald has done work on all three of us. Does a great job. His appointment book fills up pretty quickly, so better get something scheduled here fast. But call Golden Heart Tattoo at 234-706-2982, or you can email them at goldenhearttattoos.com. Also check them out on Facebook. Get your appointment now. Get some ink before the end of 22. So,
did you notice how I didn't burp while you read?
There you go. Very nice. All right, so we're going to take a break here, guys, and we're going to come back with some pop culture headlines and our main segment this evening. A couple topics here, but we're going to get into Would You Rather? So, like a kids game something like that, like a party type game. Would you rather? So, Dean played this recently. Thought it'd be fun to play with us. So, then Nick has an interesting
I have a book
things
that
we'll get into as well.
I got a book, and I will promote and give her props. Yeah, because it honestly, if there was a book called Would You Rather and have all these lists of things, would you think it was like by one person, or would you think it was like a collective type situation? No, one person. So,
Interesting.
I was surprised. Yeah, so
Really?
we'll get into that.
Okay.
Very good. All right, so we'll be right back. Pop culture headlines.
Boy, the bandicoot will come. I'm coming to get you, pal. Hi, how are you? Am I on the right street? Can you tell me where Nintendo is? People run a lot here. This is really nice. Plumber boy, your time has come.
All right, welcome back to Convincing Idiots. Pop culture headlines here, gentlemen. Just a few things that caught our attention over the past few days. This is kind of sad here. So the last adult actor, so this person was an adult during the filming of this movie. There's still child actors from the film that are still with us, but the last adult actor from It's a Wonderful Life passed away recently. Virginia Patton Moss at 97 years of age. Bless her
Virginia,
heart. So,
what took you so long? We've been up for years. Virginia.
That's right. Very good. So she played James Stewart's sister-in-law in the movie. So his younger brother, came in and just had a new wife, and that was her in the film. So I just maybe kind of
remember
reflect there.
correctly, she was she was quite the looker in her day there.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
because he was just supposed to go off to school or something, right? Came back married, and he was kind of like Jimmy Stewart was like, oh shit, like Sprite, and then they kind of changed the trajectory of his brother's life because they were the two of them were kind of supposed to help out at the bank and do their whole thing, and then it just kind of left him there to carry the load by himself.
Yeah, because yeah, that's right. Her father had a company, wanted him to go work for
That's what it was.
him and
Yep.
all that stuff.
Mhm.
But,
Yep.
yeah, so that movie, I had not. It's a Wonderful Life. I hadn't watched that movie in years and years and years and years. For
How
all
is
these
that thing?
holiday seasons. I know. And then I watched it finally a couple holiday seasons ago. Instantly fell in love with it.
It's a
And bought
great
copy
movie.
of
Take
it.
away,
It really-
take away Christmas or anything.
Yes.
It's a great film.
You're right. It doesn't have to be a Christmas film per se. There's
Nope.
there's a portion of it that takes place at Christmas time. Yes, you're right.
At the very end, everything else is
Right.
a regular film,
Right.
regular timing.
Yeah, it just we all. If you know what it is, I mean, we don't. I mean, if you've never seen It's a Wonderful Life for some reason out there, just watch it. Like Dean said, you don't have to watch it at Christmas time. The whole guardian
Spoiler
angel,
alert,
what life
he
would
kills
be.
everybody in the end
That's right.
with an axe. It is you're not expecting it. You're not expecting it, but
Actually, watching the movie, I think he would. I mean, eventually, there's only so much someone can take. I mean, maybe it would be a little bit
That's right.
justified. If ever I saw it, I'd be like, "Yes, this guy's
Suzu, come
fucking
back
had it.
here.
This guy's
Come back
fucking
here,
had enough."
Suzu. You little bitch, I'll get you.
If you're a fan, I want to go check out on YouTube out there. It's from Saturday Night Live in the '80s. They did a alternate ending of It's a Wonderful Life, and Dana Carvey plays James Stewart. He already he always imitates James Stewart perfectly, but that's what it was. James Stewart kind of loses his mind on the old guy in the wheelchair, and it just go check that out. And I thought about that last week because that was a villain I kind of forgot about, and we did that villain episode 2 episodes ago. The villain, he was just an evil man. Yeah, it would have been great to have on the list. But
Sure.
Anyway, so rest in peace, Virginia Patton Moss. You guys have already mentioned you're fans of the movie, so yeah, everybody was great in it.
I see it every year. It's Robin's favorite Christmas movie. It's watched every year.
Yep, I now do that as well. It's definitely in my holiday rotation for sure.
Three of us should cuddle up in like a blanket this Christmas together on a couch and watch it.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Yep. We'll knit it while we're watching together. We'll knit an Afghan or something. All three
I'll
of
bring
us.
the popcorn.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can reach in for the popcorn, Brian. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah. Yep. Okay, another great movie was Ferris Bueller's Day Off in the 80s.
Yes.
John Hughes movie. Interesting news coming out that they're making another spin-off of the movie. Now they had Dean, I forgot all about this here, but Dean pointed out there was a very short-lived television series in the 90s.
1990 to 1991, starring Charlie Schlatter as Ferris Bueller and Jennifer Aniston, one of her first roles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, if you know the movie at all, you know that the three high school friends they played hooky from high school and had a fun day of adventures and all that. One of which including one of the friends, Cameron. They took his father's red Ferrari out, and they parked it in a deck. And the valets jumped in the Ferrari and took off. And when they got the Ferrari back toward the end of the movie, they realized they had all these miles on it, and it freaked them out. And Cameron tried to reverse the odometer by running the car backwards and winds up wrecking the car.
Cameron was stupid.
Yes, he was. But this movie is based on the two characters, Sam and Victor, who took the Ferrari out on that joyride that day. So it follows their adventures for that day. So it's going to be something along the lines of Sam and Victor's Day Off or something along that line. So
interesting.
So John Hurwitz, also Hayden Schlossberg and Josh Harrell, they created another expansion of the 80s team of Karate Kid with the Cobra Kai series. So these guys are involved in that series.
Okay.
They're producing this film. So it sounds like there's people that, definitely, they know what they're doing with the Cobra Kai. They definitely stay true to the original movies. So I am interested in this, and I like the fact that it is trying to tell a different offshoot of the story, not trying to reboot or anything like that. We talked about reboots a couple episodes ago, so go check that out. But Sam and Victor's Day Off, so I think it's definitely, I'm interested to see it. So Dean, what do you think about the premise of a Ferris Bueller spin-off, if you will?
Well, there is a book called From a Certain Point of View. It is a Star Wars book. There's 3 of them. And each book, in each chapter of those books, tells a story of a Star Wars character, like a background Star Wars character. So it gives their point of view of what's happening in A New Hope, or Empire Strikes Back, or Return of the Jedi. So it's kind of like this idea, like you're seeing the same movie just from a different point of view. I like the idea. I like the premise. I mean, Ferris Bueller's Day Off to me wasn't what everybody else saw it as. Like it was okay. It wasn't everything that everybody else liked, but it was okay. So, but I am really interested in seeing this concept. One thing that I'm going to break the fourth wall right now while we're talking about it, guys. What a great concept for us to talk about. To do a
I'm just thinking about the same thing. Yep.
On choose different characters of big movies and who would you like to see a background story from?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking the exact same thing right before you said that. So, yeah, that's definitely a good one.
Well, because we're the smart ones on the show, and so, it's going to happen time and time again. We're going to run into the same brilliant idea.
Hey, listen, Nick and I came up with, on our own, a couple episodes ago, Bachelorette Vampire. Now that...
Yeah, it was a really good idea, too, and everybody liked it a lot.
That's a great concept for a show.
Brian said I was brilliant. He told me.
Yep.
That's right. That's right, buddy. I sure did.
Give him a nice pat on the head.
Thanks.
Give you a sugar cube.
I found a new beer in the fridge.
Did you find the right bus today coming home, Nick? By the way,
You picked the shortest one. What beer are you drinking there, bud?
I am. Hold on. It is a Rheingeist.
You can't read it sideways.
Well, I have my hand over it. It's a Flamingo. Oh. It's a tropical IPA.
Okay.
I gotta filter the summer beers out of my fridge before the weather hits. I have a Elysian fall sampler pack in the fridge right now that I bought last week.
I was actually that is what I'm going to bring. So drink all that up because that's what I'm bringing to the game night that Brian refuses to go to.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'll be out of town. Sorry, I'll be out of town.
Oh, you didn't hear about that?
No.
I had to decline.
He said he doesn't like you. He said we're no longer best friends.
Well, we're not having
to go take a long walk off a short pier.
It was basically an excuse to hang out with my best friend Brian. So if he can't make it, I'm calling it. Fuck it.
That's it. Can't make it. He said you're not best friends.
Yeah.
He said find a new one.
Every Labor Day weekend we do the getaway in Southern Ohio. We've been doing that for 30 plus years consecutively now. So I have to,
is that Labor Day weekend?
Labor Day weekend every year.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's what your game night is, Saturday of that weekend. Okay. Nick, what do you think about Ferris Bueller's spinoff? Are you
I like that
concept or what? Yeah.
Yeah. At first when we were talking about it, I kind of didn't know what to think. I'm like, a spinoff. There's certain things that I'm the opposite of Dean in this regard, where like I just think Ferris Bueller's Day Off is a masterpiece. It's a great movie for its time. It's kind of, I don't know, well thought out in a very simplistic way. Like, I just like the idea, the whole thing. It's so many good lines that come from that movie, and I just feel like it's a good movie. I don't need a whole lot of things. Like, you don't need to take characters from it, any main characters at least, from it and make it its own thing. Like, Ferris Bueller's Day Off is just a perfect little thing as it is. But I like the idea that it exists in the same universe. It's just not exactly... it's like you said, a spin-off of characters that were loosely tied to the main storyline. So, like, I could get behind that. I actually think that's a pretty clever idea.
Yeah, and it's going to be obviously set in the 80s, so you have that whole fun nostalgia with it as well, I'm sure. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, another thing I'm looking forward to is Only Murders in the Building, second seasons. It's another great season of that series.
Yeah,
we've already announced the third season. And exciting news, Paul Rudd is going to come into the third season. They don't know what extent he'll be on the show, but, I'm sure most of us agree. Anything with Paul Rudd, I'm interested.
Yeah.
Same here. I will watch anything with Paul Rudd. You do a spinoff, the Golden Girls calling it the menstrual cycle years, and and you put Paul Rudd at the helm, I'm watching it. So
Yeah.
Now,
Anything.
I don't know that we ever really took this and ran with it, but we did it at least once on the show. We did a segment called "Giving Them Their Flowers." You know, like essentially we're appreciating someone that's still with us.
That we haven't actually done that yet.
Yeah. Well, I thought we did do it, or maybe not.
Did we?
No,
I brought it up to you guys, and you guys just ignored me. And
Dean's been too lazy to recognize Christopher Lloyd that he's been trying to recognize.
Actually,
It was his idea.
I have 3 pages to read about Christopher Lloyd that I wrote.
I say that to say, and yes, I also enjoy Paul Rudd, but can I just tell you guys how much I fucking love Martin Short? Like, not just now, it's been always. It's just, he has this innate...
It's good.
What you guys have just, it's like something that it's not capturable by anybody else I've ever seen before. He just is funny. Like, he just is. The way he delivers things is unlike anyone else, and whether it's Saturday Night Live or any of the movies, he's just. I fucking love Martin Short. Like, I really, and I think I love that he's on this show, because now I get to experience him like on a weekly basis. And I'm just like, fuck, I love Martin Short. Like, I just love, I love all of them. They're really, Steve Martin obviously is fantastic in it as well. And Selena Gomez is great in it as well. Everybody, all the characters, big actors, there's a lot of big names that are in this show. And they're all great. But I just fucking love Martin Short. I always have. And I just like that I'm seeing him more now. And he's just fucking incredible. I don't know what it is about him, but he's
what's
just
your favorite
perfect.
Martin Short movie?
My favorite Martin Short movie? I don't know. What was the one...
Well, let me repeat that. What is your favorite Martin Short movie? And the only correct answer is The Three Amigos.
Okay, well, I've never seen The Three Amigos, so there you go.
Oh my god!
Right,
It's funny.
It is such a ridiculous.
Steve Martin Short, and Chevy Chase.
And Chevy Chase. It's so good. Yeah, you should watch that.
Yeah, but no, just I love Martin Short. That's all. I just love him.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, he definitely. He understands completely we had a physical comedian episode also. We could throw on these throwbacks here, but I don't know if Martin Short made it. But he is one of the best physical. This is facial expressions. He delivers a line, and he has that look. He's always aware that you could be watching him at any time. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he plays so well with Steve Martin. Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, totally. He is like the old time movie version of Dana Carvey.
Yeah.
I could see that.
Like Dana Carvey, and again, I'm not taking anything away from Dana Carvey. Dana Carvey is brilliant and hilarious, but they have that same aura about them. But Martin Short is just I want to say classier. That maybe
I'd say a masterclass in whatever like that. Like he's
whatever Dana Carvey has, he learned from Martin Short. You know what I mean?
Like Dana Carvey's Obi-Wan, but Martin Short is Yoda. Like it's like he's there.
Yeah.
Dana
Carvey's a good like impressionist actor, if you will.
Yeah.
He's like in doing character. Martin Short is simply a great comedic actor. Has a great comedic
genius.
Presence.
Yeah,
he really is.
If the word genius is, I know it's easy. It's thrown on way too much, but that is 1,000% accurate. He is a comedic genius.
Brian, you were talking about like the physical comedy and stuff. There was just the intricacy, and even this joke made me laugh that he would think to put this. He hosted Saturday Night Live. It's probably, I don't know, a handful of years, 4 or 5 years ago. You know, he was the host on SNL randomly, and surprisingly, he spent a very short amount of time on Saturday Night Live. I think it was only 1 or maybe 2 seasons. Might have only been 1, but he was in his monologue. He's doing this thing, and a lot of times the guys on that are doing their monologues, the piano will play or somebody will play a little beat, and they'll incorporate some music. And Martin Short's kind of walking along the stage and talking and pointing out these things of when he was here, and he's like, breaks into song. The piano rolls out on a cart, and piano's playing, and he leans up against the piano, runs his hand along it, and he hops up on it, and he kind of fidgets for a moment and kind of postures and puts himself in a different way, and he's still talking to the music, and then he goes, "How does a man sit on a piano, I wonder?" He was trying to, because he was crossing his leg over, and everything looked feminine, and he goes, "How does a man sit on a piano, I wonder?" And it was just so fucking just simple but brilliant, and just fucking love him. Anyway, that's all. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Two words. Jiminy Glick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ed Grimley, another one.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a Martin Short love fest here, guys. We mentioned Paul.
As it should be. As it should be.
Yeah.
If you have not watched Only Murders in the Building, all three of us are big fans on Hulu. 2 seasons, not 2 episodes, 2 seasons, and the third coming, and it's a hit. And I see this going on for a while. I think you said, all three of the actors play so well off each other, and you could do so much with the concept. The podcasters, all the different murders and things they get hooked up in, the mysteries and everything. So, yeah, just highly, highly, highly recommended. Not just for Martin Short. So, all right, guys, that's a couple of things in pop culture headlines. So. Good conversation. Thank you. And we're going to take another break. And we're going to come back with our main topic. Would you rather? We'll be right back.
Fear has no form. Fear has no name. But now, fear has an address. Castlevania Symphony of the Night for your PlayStation. From Konami.
And a mighty big hello there to you. I am Millennial Nick, along with my bro hosts, Gen X Brian and Zennial Dean, and we are back for, count 'em, not one, not two, but a third segment of Convincing Idiots, in which we will discuss things. We are going to discuss things that hang in the balance of our very existence. Choices. Life is made up of choices. Choices that you make are very important. And today we will discuss some of those in a segment that we like to call, and this is ours, so don't try to use it because this is our very own original title we came up with. Would you rather? So this was that's right, an idea of our Zennial Dean. Okay, thought that it would be a fun idea to do a Would You Rather segment, and I think that's a great idea as well. So I know some people might be new to the idea of what a Would You Rather is. So I'm going to send you a softball. Okay, I'm going to lob you one right over the top, just so you can knock it right out of the park. For example, I'll say, would you rather walk until your feet are just failing you and you are to the point of exhaustion, or would you rather ride to your destination on an electric bike? Now, your answer, of course, would be?
Electric bike, of course.
The electric bike, of course. So in which case, we would go, great. Okay, well, all you have to do is hit up our friends at RPM Bike Shop. They're located conveniently in Carrollton, Ohio. It's not far from here. And, I mean, if you have a Facebook, which everybody does, all you have to do is search RPM Bike Shop, and you're going to see their wonderful products. You're going to see all the things that they can offer you. You can find more information about them as well as where you can go to visit them, and also their website, rpmbikeshop.com. Also, if you wish to give them the old ring-a-ding on the landline or your cell phone, 330-808-7792 is where you would call to do that handy little deed and get your hands on your very own electric bike today. RPM Bike Shop. Tell them Convincing Idiot sent you. Yes. Yeah. James Hetfield. I don't know why he popped in there. Big fan of electric bikes. Anyway, so we are doing a Would You Rather, so that would be an example. Very easy one. So, maybe a tougher one. Dean, would you like to give us a tougher one that's a little more...
Again, before I do, I'm going to go ahead and shout out. It is just called Would You Rather, written by Lindsay Daly.
Okay.
Find this as a paperback book right here. It's quite entertaining. If you're sitting around with friends, it's a fun thing to just banter back and forth with.
Yeah.
Comes up with some interesting ideas, and I figured you two idiots would have some interesting answers as well.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to start with
And thank you to Lindsay for the wonderful material in which we are
Absolutely.
stealing.
Since we're too lazy to do our own work, we're going to Lindsay.
I did make my own, thank you. Some of
All
them.
right. Okay. Would you rather be able to communicate with the dead or with other people telepathically? Would you rather be able to commune with the dead or talk to people telepathically? Brian, what says you?
I would rather communicate with the dead, I think.
Is it
Okay.
all the dead? Or is it like, do you get to pick? Or do you just hear a bunch of dead people talking in your head all the time?
Well, that would be annoying. Well, telepathically would be annoying if it's the same thing, wouldn't it?
Well, right.
Like to hear
so
everybody.
Yes, so you could. Okay.
In theory, you should control this.
Correct. Okay. So yes, Brian, elaborate.
Yeah, that's right. It'd be a way to stay connected to family and friends who's no longer with us, because to be able to, carry on some type of relationship with them. You can also learn from others out there, even famous dead people, on their ideas, and maybe they have thoughts that could help even shape the world today, and just learn more about folks no longer here. Talking to people who's already on the earth is already hard enough to do, frankly. I mean, you're connected. We're connected so much now.
That's
with
true.
Social media and phones and everything else. I mean, I'm pretty well connected to a lot. I mean, I don't see or talk to people around as much as I would like to, certainly. But there's easy ways.
They're happy that you don't. But
yeah, it's too easy to get a message over to people with today's technology. You don't need to communicate telepathically, in my opinion. So that's what I got.
Nick?
Yeah,
I'll give you a quick, easy answer. As someone who has lost both of my grandparents that were like a second set of parents to me through my life within the last year, I would choose to be able to communicate with people who have passed. That would probably be my easy answer personally. So, but yes, Dean, what say you?
Well, I mean, not to use stealing of the show, but you guys convinced me. I was originally going to choose to speak to people telepathically, but you guys make a good point. Like, we already do that through Facebook and social media, and I mean, unless I can read your mind, I don't care.
Yeah, right. Because that's a different conversation. If it's communicating telepathically, and that person that you're talking to that's alive is just going to tell you what they're going to tell you verbally anyway, it's nothing really special. But if you can, if it's something their true thoughts, that'd be different.
I'm a future villain, so unless it benefits me, I'm right. That's not the path I want to choose. Now,
plus, could you do it by accident? So, could you accidentally, if you were communicating telepathically, if you had a thought about that person, would you accidentally? Would you actually send them a message that you
it's almost like tripping up. Like you walk by and you think, nice tits. And she's like, what'd you say? And you're like, oh,
exactly.
No. Yeah.
You guys would be thinking, God, Brian yells at us a lot for not doing any fucking preparation or promotion or anything like that. It's like a constant yelling out of my head. Constantly.
And then you hear us both in sync go, nobody cares, Brian.
Whatever. God. I'm working so hard right now. Like, give us a break. Jesus.
I picked up a paperback book.
I literally wrote things down at work today, like this morning. God. Like, fuck.
You lazy ass.
Good thing you can't hear what I'm thinking.
I think I know what you're thinking. And you can place your hand there anytime you want, Brian. Go ahead.
Shouldn't you be editing or something? God.
You will after this segment. Nicholas, you said you wrote some.
I did.
Said, other than work at your actual job, you did homework. So
this is like a job. Ugh, this is just all right. You ready? Would you rather? Okay, this is very serious. This is really aimed at the both of you. Okay. So this is something that I feel like will hit you both on a very personal level. Would you rather, Dean and Brian, admit that Jingle All the Way is the best Christmas movie, or have everyone you have ever loved sucked into a black hole for all of eternity?
Bob me, Ma. Should be painless. Just to let it happen.
Mm-hmm. You know.
And hey, who doesn't like getting sucked? Brian, go ahead.
Yeah, I would say that to avoid my family being sucked into a black hole. Would I believe it? I don't know, but I would definitely.
That was not part of the question. That was not part of the question.
You have to be true to the question.
I just
Brian.
need an admittance. That is all. Okay. So this one is a little more for Brian, but Dean, you can also answer if you feel passionate about this. Okay.
I
feel like you might be a little skewed. So okay. Brian and or Dean, would you rather be in a constant state of melting? Okay. Imagine that, constant state of melting, or have an interrupting Dean in your head all the time? I mean, think about it. You don't ever get to finish a thought because interrupting Dean is always in your head, and it's him all the time.
Or
you're just
let me tell you guys
so
what
like you're just
I
trying
would do.
to gather.
Let me tell you what I would do. All right, what I would do.
The constant state of melt, it'd be too hard to live, I think, with the constant state of melt.
So you would deal with your brain figuratively melting instead.
Well, it'd be kind of like, it'd be sort of like doing this podcast all the time.
That's
Jesus.
Right, yes.
You're a lot stronger man than I.
You know?
Okay. So not to be unfair.
I can I answer?
Yes, you can.
Well,
you have it. Interrupting Dean in your head all the time.
Unfortunately, I do both. I am so fat it looks like I'm melting constantly, and I also have an interrupting Dean in my head at all times. So, unfortunately, I don't have to choose.
Yikes.
I have both.
But now you're truly free because you're not afraid of anything. It's just you have all the bad
besides
things.
bears.
So it's like whatever, yeah. Okay, I have one, not to be unfair. Dean, this one, again, Brian, feel free to answer. Dean, this one might be a little more directed at you. Would you rather never receive a hug from a loved one again, ever? So this includes, your girlfriend, your son, none of that. Never receiving a hug from a loved one ever again, or having every single one of your jokes for the rest of time met with a Brian, Doesn't matter how funny the joke is. Every single one, everyone just goes, Now,
if I choose that one, that's going to happen. Every joke I say.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good it is, if somebody even thinks it's funny, but the reaction you get will always be that.
Well, first of all, I don't think you really understand the pleasure I get from annoying Brian enough to make that noise come out of his furry little head. See? I now have quite the chub right now because of that. So that is definitely on the table. I'm going to go with that. I'm picking the Brian.
Okay. All right.
And I get to hear Brian, his manly grunt on a regular basis.
Sure. Yeah.
Sign me up.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, that's of course my answer. If I can respond that way to every one of Dean's jokes,
he does it. Sure.
Here on out.
Yes.
That's
right.
the easy answer.
Okay, I have a couple that I found that I wrote down as well that I thought were pretty. So this one was kind of interesting. This is very pop cultural, so I thought this was kind of interesting. Would you rather spend 10 years as Kim Kardashian or 1 year as a Duggar? So it's full blown like 10 years of like everything you do is watched, paid attention to. You are the center of everything, the fortune, the fame, all the good, all the bad, everything. A decade of it, or 1 year of as a Duggar. So that could mean, well, it could quite honestly mean, as much as being molested by your brother, or it could mean just like being bored out of your mind for a fucking year and living in a house with a lot of other children and people and nothing to do.
What's a Duggar?
You've never seen the A&E, the Meet the Duggars? They are. Oh, neither one of you know what that is?
Nope.
Okay, so whatever. That kind of basically they were They had
I mean,
a
you had
reality
me molested by my brother. I mean,
they had a reality show on A&E to where it's, the mom and they have all these fucking kids. There's like 13 of them or some shit. And they're they range from 17 to fucking 1. And they have a million fucking kids. They all go everywhere together. They have a fucking school bus.
when that
they
woman
drive
coughs,
around.
does it just sound like applause happening in her pants?
Basically. But then one of the older boys, came out a few years ago that one of the older boys had molested some of the girls or sisters or whatever. So that's, why I say that. I don't know if this question, when it was posed, was meant to mean that as well, but I don't know. It's quite the lifestyle. Let's put it this way. It is a lifestyle that we're not used to. I don't know how much. I don't remember if they were. They weren't like.
Well, you don't really have
Amish
to.
You
don't
can
have
get the
to
vibe.
Continue, because even without knowing who or what a Duggar is, I'm going with Kardashian because I mean, who wouldn't want an ass like that? So
sure, yes,
sure. Well, and Dean's had 41 years as a Duggar, I think, something like that already. Equivalent,
right?
Something like that. I don't know. No, but I would take the Kim Kardashian. I mean, there's definitely the pressure of she has to live up to. You're always on. You can't really leave the house without flocks of attention. I'm sure that would be a lot to get used to. But
you're out with your kids. Everybody's all over you. It's just
right.
it's.
But you also, I'm sure you have a way to deal with all of that. So, yeah, I would take that as long as I don't have to deal with Kanye.
Yeah.
So
I would take the Kim life as well,
part.
just because I want. That's the selling point for me. If I so choose, I can hang out with Kanye West. There you go.
Good.
Look at that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right, guys, I got one.
Go ahead.
Would you want to know all of history? So everything of history, for a fact what actually happened, or have the ability to predict the future?
Future for me.
Okay, why?
Because first of all, I don't care about history at all. So there's that. I don't give a shit. I don't fucking
But you
care.
realize how much things you could know and
I don't care.
You know that the reality.
You know how much money I could make if I knew the winning lottery number? I don't care. I don't care. What happened. I don't give a shit. It's in the past. It's done. But for me, yes, future all the way. Like I could get ahead of the game. I could know what's coming. I can use it to profit.
Not with your personality.
But I can, yes, future all the way for me.
Yes, but you would also know when everyone you love is going to die.
That's true. But then I could make the most of that time.
Would you want to know that?
Not necessarily, but
you want to tell them that?
If they wanted to know.
No, you don't tell them that. No way.
If they wanted to know, why not? Why have a gift if I can't share it? If they want to know, and they really want to know.
So you're right. It's interesting from a fortune perspective, right? Because you could predict. You could
you could be rich.
I know who's going to win the next 3 Super Bowls and bet money and accumulate through sports and stuff like that. But
right, you could be Biff Tanner and in the alternate universe of Back to the Future.
Right. But would you want to know stuff that you just don't want to know? Like when your own self is going to pass away, right? So it's like how would you want to deal with that?
But the way this is saying you could predict the future doesn't mean you see all of the future. So predicting,
but you're going to get curious. You're going to be like,
well, then that's on you,
right?
Like
exactly.
I would my death would not be something that I would want to know, because I mean I just assume that you two are involved somehow, right. And I'm like, you know what? Some things are better left not known.
Oh, we've already said it's on your 100th birthday party. I'm still going to be alive from sucking the entities from other podcasters, right? Sucking out their souls.
Of course.
Right?
Of course. That's right.
And we're
going to see that movie.
You're going to be at the big family party, and Nick and I are going to get up, and I'm just going to behead you right there in front of everybody.
Yeah. That's going to be beautiful.
I can't
wait. Toss the head across the table and just see it.
You're going to have him as like with the X lightsabers like Anakin, and I'll be sitting up there like Palpatine and just go, do it. And you just, just right off.
That's right.
Clean off.
and then Nick and I just get absorbed into the Force.
I'm pretty sure you two have just described our next promotional video we're about to do.
Yeah.
Yep. We have that production budget as well. We need to do that for sure.
Good.
For sure. That is an interesting question, though. Really, I mean, to predict it.
How would we kill each other?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's too many unknowns. I don't want to know. I'd be too. I want to know from the fortune and fame type stuff. But the same token, there's a lot to not knowing the future and living your life and trying to live it in the moment. And like, would you?
I don't like that.
I don't know. Like even this podcast, it's like we're doing this. We're trying to have fun with it. If we knew for sure it's never going to amount to anything, would it be demoralizing, or would you just? Or do you still show up and have fun? But you know what? Whatever job you're doing, if you know ultimately you're not going anywhere, you would instantly lose your passion for it and dreams and hopes. And,
no, because that's the way I can see what my life is like, and I still go on.
I'll take the history. That's what I'll take. That's me.
That's because you lived through most of it. All right, so for the next. Right. All right, so
what about you? You didn't answer.
Didn't I?
No.
Oh, really.
I would definitely do the I'd do the history.
Okay.
I'm so curious about like things that happened in the past. I mean, to know what for fact of everything that's ever happened, you could become rich knowing that too.
Like how the pyramids get built, you would know.
Right. You could find out some things that people don't want to know. And like we've already established, I'm a villain. I would blackmail people.
Yeah.
You know.
Sure.
I would have world governments paying me.
Yeah.
So definitely the history part for me.
Yep.
All right. I got another one, gentlemen.
You'd be killing on Jeopardy. Think about that. You'd kill on Jeopardy.
Right?
Kill.
Well,
not necessarily, because they might have the wrong answers. Only you'd know the actual truth.
Right.
Let's just say the answers on the cue card. What is what it like? No, that's not. But like no, but that's what actually happened. They're like, that's not what we have done. That's not the answer they were looking for.
Good point.
Good call. Because predicting the future, you could just predict what happened a half hour before, and then go back and watch it, and know all the answers.
That is true. Anyway, that's a good question. Go ahead.
Yeah, actually, if you knew everything that actually happened in history, you just sound like a crackpot. Because everybody would be like, you're like, no, here's what really happened. I'd be like, yep, okay, dude. Like, because you'd be the only one that would know.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, you would be considered a conspiracy theorist and all that shit.
Exactly.
All right, so would you, and this is a fun little one real quick, would you give up eating in a restaurant for the rest of your life or give up going to see the movies ever?
Oh, that's an easy one.
Oh, yeah, easy for me too.
I would give up the restaurant.
Okay.
I like to be able to go to the movies when I want to go to see the movie. I could easily get food to go or cook at home. That's easy.
Yep.
Mine's the opposite. I can see a movie anywhere, but I to go to get a certain dish or whatever, like, or a new restaurant experience. That's very exciting to me. Thank you. That's very exciting to me. Like, I like going to new places, trying new foods and things like that. So, like, I mean, I do enjoy the movie theater experience. It's just, you get a big enough TV and a loud enough speaker system, I can get that anywhere. But a restaurant is kind of unique to places you go and things like that. So I would stick with the restaurants.
See, the thing is, you wouldn't be able to go to your favorite restaurant. I could go, if I chose the movies, I could always go and go to the theater, but I can take all my favorite restaurants home.
That's
which
right.
There's no other human beings there, so I would like that more.
I see. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going with the movie theater.
Okay. There you go. I have one to throw in. This one last one that I have here. So I found that I thought was interesting. Would you rather go to jail for 5 years or be in a coma for 10?
Coma for 10.
Yeah.
Oh, easily.
So you just wake up and Carter would instantly be 20? And you'd miss, you'd have nothing of any of it. You wouldn't know no visits, no, you know what I mean? Like, you wouldn't see him grow through time, even though it would suck to know that you're incarcerated and missing it, you would, you know what I mean? Like you
don't know what you don't know. You're in the coma. You don't know that it would suck at the moment, but in the prison, you know that you're missing on everything. Plus, you're getting plugged in the ass in the showers.
So that's another reason I thought you would pick jail, but okay.
Plus, the food there is disgusting.
Brian, getting plugged or going to sleep? Which one?
I think I would take especially if we're talking now at where we are in our lives. I mean, 10 years is too much time. I would have to take 5 years.
You'd be dead.
And just,
how'd you like to wake up dead in 10 years?
After 2 years, everybody's going, we should just pull the plug, right?
Yeah, 5 years is less time lost, and you can try to get yourself in some good shape.
Yeah, right. I thought that too. Yeah.
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 Just
look at me. I will not do well in jail. It is not going to go good for me. So, but I'm really good at sleeping. So,
yeah,
I'm picking the coma.
There you go.
I also would go with the jail time. I did same things that you said. It's less time. Like you said, you could. I mean, you got plenty of time to work on yourself or do whatever, or work out and right. Mentally, physically, all that good stuff. But I can't imagine waking up and seeing my kids 10 years older and just being like, that time is fucking gone. Like it's just like gone. Like I wasn't even here to even have a talk with them like once every other week or anything. Like it just like nothing.
So they're cool.
Who?
The kids, they don't talk to you, so they're
right.
doing okay.
Yeah, they've developed into fully formed individuals.
You weren't around to destroy their mental psyche.
Damage them. That's right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And Robin's clearly moved on. There's no question about it.
The second day.
Yeah, it's like. Yeah,
but is there also?
It gave you 2 weekends.
They were putting a new sheet on, and she's bringing her boyfriend in to do it.
New sheet.
Interesting flip side, though. What about the psychological part of that? If we're talking about kids in a situation like this. If you are in a coma, that is not a fault of your own. So do the kids look at you as like, that's like awful, but Dad's, it's not his fault that he's not around. Versus as they grow in there for 5, they go, this is his fault that he's in jail. Like this was his doing, and like now we're missing years of being with him.
Right. He chose to do that.
So it's almost
to that selfish in that alley.
A selfish reason to choose, because for me, selfishly, I'm thinking less time away, still get to see you sometimes. It's not such the culture shock on me to wake up and you're older.
And they get a new boyfriend.
That's a good point.
That's right. I get to explore myself.
Makes this game interesting. It's the different conversations that come up from it. Yep.
What else you got, Dino?
All right, last one, because I'm looking at the time here. I'm just going to flip through.
Hold on. I got one real quick before you do the last one.
Absolutely.
Okay, if you don't mind. Okay.
By all means.
Would you rather keep your liquor bottles unorganized on your kitchen counter or store them in a beautifully crafted floating liquor cabinet?
You know, when you said floating, that's the one that took me.
That's it.
That's right there, the floating one. I want the floating one. Why not?
I mean, but that's super hard to do. So I mean, it's even impossible.
Probably expensive as shit.
Right.
Like I mean, it's just unattainable.
It is neither. It is neither one of those things. So
get out of town.
Really?
That's right. So I want you to go check out our last sponsor, Bellmark Amazon store, BELLEMARK. And check out their beautifully crafted hanging liquor cabinet. Super easy to hang. You don't even need a drill, guys.
Wow.
It comes with everything you need to hang on your wall.
Ends up being hung like Nick.
That's right. That's right. It's a beautiful wood and crafted and perfectly symmetry and all that type of stuff. And also the liquor cabinet is the same way.
Hey-o.
That's right. No, so go check them out on Amazon. I have a floating liquor cabinet hanging in my dining room as we speak. It looks great. It's a nice addition to the room. The shelf flips down. You can store at least 4 liquor bottles in there and glasses. And even has a shelf space. You can make a drink if you wish. And they also have floating nightstands and countertop compost bins, 2 sizes for your convenience. So everything is delivered conveniently and quickly through the Amazon delivery service and affordably priced. Belmark, Amazon store. Go check them out.
Well done.
Dean,
Well
there you go.
done.
There you go.
Okay.
What is the last one, sir? You're going to flip the
Brian,
pick one?
I'm going to
Mhm.
flip through, and you say when.
Stop.
Bitch.
All right. Here we go. Left or right?
Left.
All right.
Can you not read it, or is it not a good one?
Well, there's 2 to each page, so I was picking the 2.
Struggling over there. Struggling.
The. Oh, sorry. The. All right. Well, I mean, this isn't the best choice here.
Then pick the other one.
All right. Would you rather salsa dance with a ninja or a zombie?
Ninja. Because they're quicker. The salsa's fast.
Mm-hmm.
And ninjas are fast. I mean, and
They can
and I
maybe
just feel
twirl you and flip you.
yeah, sure. We'll throw some. Yeah, they're gonna make up some things on the fly. Yeah, definitely a ninja. A zombie's gonna be very they're falling apart on you. They smell bad. The whole 9 yards.
That's true.
Are they both trying to kill you?
I think maybe that's what they're meaning by that. I'm thinking that the danger of both. That's what I was assuming.
Well, that changes things then.
It does. It does. Because I
Yes.
think if they're both one's trying to eat your brains, one's trying to ninja chop you.
Mm-hmm.
Both are problematic.
Yeah, a living being trained to kill probably would succeed fairly easily to kill you if you were a salsa dancing up close with a ninja. At least with a zombie, you would have a chance to bust its jaw out so it can't bite you, or kill it with stab it in the brain with something. So, or beating over the head. You have a chance with a zombie. That's what I would pick. Thinking that way.
Right. I'm going to take my high heels off that I'm wearing, and I'm going to stab it in the temple.
Mm-hmm.
And it's slow enough. But if I do that with the ninja, he's going to block it. So
there you go.
I think we've all agreed that zombies are the way to go.
Yeah, definitely. If they're trying to kill you, yes. If they're just there to have a good night, the better dance partner is the ninja. But if you're trying to defend them and salsa dance, zombie's the way to go.
Yeah,
there you go.
Absolutely.
Yep. Okay.
Well, I think we've solved the world's what?
No, I had one more actually. If you don't mind,
please.
Yeah,
I can do this all night.
No, so on our outro this evening, would you rather have Nick pick his own outro or have Zenio Dean pick how Nick should do the outro?
Okay,
it's good. Would you rather?
And I think this is a 2 out of 3, and the winner wins this. I believe, right?
I'm going to say Nick. I'm going to allow Nick to pick his own. That's what I would rather see this evening. That is my selection. Dean, what would you rather?
On the spot.
Well, I mean, I've been known to have an ego, so I think that I would do the best picking, just like I do my butt or my nose. So I'm going to go with me.
Nicholas, you have the tiebreaker.
You want me to do it as you?
Oh no! I get to pick.
He gets to pick.
Okay.
Or you can pick. Or you
but
can
I
pick
think you just got a really good choice for me.
On the spot, my choice is the Dean picks because I need direction.
All right, there you go.
All right, you two banter for a second. Let me at least, fourth wall, people. This was not planned, so give me a second to think.
Sure.
You know what? We have gone in the past, and we have done. Nicholas has done many characters and many voices of many people throughout time. He has even done Brian. Yes, it turned out to be a lot like Barack
Can
Obama.
we clip that and play it back slowly so that I can just have it for just the part where he said that I've done Brian? That's all. Thank you.
And he did him well. And I've always been jealous.
Yeah.
Nicholas has never done me.
Oh.
And I think it would be interesting to see what that looks like. So why don't we do the outro? Nicholas, why don't you do me, please?
Okay, well, if I had a button to undo here to show some chest hair, I would, to show that I don't have an undershirt. And...
Wait, David Spade?
I don't have a tone, really. This is difficult because I'm Dean, and I like to drink whiskey, and if you like to listen to Convincing Idiots, then you should
This is
join
uncanny.
us.
This is eerie. This is
Like I'm
eerie.
looking at myself.
Be sure to join us on I'm just gonna lean full into something else because I don't know what you don't sound like anything. So so
You're not the only person to ever say that to me.
to get this
You don't
straight,
sound like anything.
my chest is
Make it-
out, right? Okay.
Gotta be proud.
Mm-hmm.
Dean has several times on family vacation, I think,
That's right.
with Megan and her family. Yeah.
And so I'm Dean, and I'm on Convincing Idiots, and if you would like to, just head on over to our link tree and go ahead and search Convincing Idiots, LINKTRE, and there you're going to find a bunch of links. You can just find our Twitter, our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok. I don't know what voice this is. This is so weird. Or you can just go to our...
David Spade with a stroke.
Actually, maybe that's what this actually is, because I'm uncomfortable right now. So this is the most you I can actually be. It's just uncomfortable.
There you go.
Or you can go over to our website, and that's convincingidiots.wordpress.com. And
Yeah,
there you can find pictures of all kinds of things, including Dean and Brian and Nick and Mitty Teat and all kinds of things that I can't say that will be edited out later. So for this episode of Convincing Idiots, I am Zennial Dean, as by my chest hair, Millennial Nick.
I'm Zennial Dean.
Oh my god, I do sound like you.
You got it. Look at that. Perfect. Right spot on.
And I am Gen X Brian.
Have we convinced you that given the choice, you would rather come back and join us next week for another new episode of Convincing Idiots?
Hey, Dean with Convincing Idiots. Brian and Nick here. Like and subscribe.